Are you good at idea generation? Now, idea generation, when we think about the innovation life cycle, it's really the first phase. Welcome back, or welcome if it's the first time you're here. I asked a 10-year-old, so as a kid, how do you come up with cool ideas? What is it that you do? And he said, you just do something, you stop and you think, and then you go, ooh. Now, I could sit here for the rest of this video deconstructing just how profound that statement was from a 10-year-old, right? But I don't need to do that. You know, kids, you've met them. You see how natural innovation comes to them. Creativity is so simple and straightforward for them. For lots of adults, doing something, stopping and thinking and going, ooh, that in itself is far too risky. The truth is, we're far too caught up in perception and the outcome to truly create. And so we need another way. We need a scientific method to create. We need a step-by-step guide, a framework, a model to follow. Don't believe me? Well, most people say creativity is art. It should just flow. You shouldn't have to mix it with science. Art and science don't combine, and creativity is fully on the art spectrum. What I say is that is completely wrong. That thinking's not right. Like a lot of things in our lovely planet, things exist on a spectrum, and creativity is one of those things. Now, as a painter myself, I can tell you that both art and science go into the way that I paint and the things that I create. Creativity is both skill and technique. Now, going back to that statement, right, about just doing something, i.e. taking action, and then thinking about it and going, ooh, meaning curiosity, even though it's as simple as those two steps, take action, be curious. It's not that simple for us to do as adults. Now we have to think about the environment. There's a very specific environment that encourages us to take action and to be curious. This requires time and a safe space to learn, to explore, to ask questions, to get things wrong, meaning that there are no consequences for getting things wrong. This is quite rare in the adult world. We're simply not given the resources to create. In fact, what we're really good at doing is completely beating it out of society. We literally take all of our creative activities and all of the creative tasks that we have, and we outsource it. We outsource it to creative agencies, to strategic consulting firms, to open source development. Now, I'm not saying that there's something inherently wrong in doing this, but really ask yourself, what are we afraid of trying here? Chances are we're scared to create. Now, you may not want to bring back creating ad campaigns internally. That's fine. But you should. In fact, you must develop creativity as a core business capability. Why? Because ideas are the foundation to innovation and growth. You first have to come up with great ideas before you can take those ideas through the innovation cycle. You have to create ideas before you can create value. And when we think about how the world works, the environment that you are in for bringing products and services into the world, nothing is ever stagnant. You are either advancing or you are regressing. And when the market corrects itself, whether through recession, a health crisis, or any other type of economic crisis, it punishes the companies, the organizations, and the individuals who fool themselves into defying this law. Long story short, innovate or die. You can't afford to not take creativity seriously. Now let's dive back into the real world for an example. Let's talk about mobile phones, laptops, tablets, all of that stuff. What innovation do you see? All right, let's list them out. We're seeing bigger screens, longer battery life, thinner device, better camera. And this is all great stuff, we welcome it. But is this really innovation? For me, it's not. It's simply adding more features or making those features better iterations of the previous version. What true benefit is it adding to the product? Not much. To be honest, I don't find that very innovative at all. That's just my personal opinion. People will say there's nothing more you can do in that space. Everything's been done already. But for me, that's really lazy thinking. I mean, tell that to SpaceX, tell that to Bitcoin, tell that to Airbnb. These industries where we thought we could get no more movement out of it, they have gone and challenged that and created either new markets or have extended their markets. This, for me, is dangerous thinking. So you have to snap out of it. Let's talk about possibility. You have to believe in possibility before you create. If you don't, you've already failed. Not having the belief in possibility is instant poison for any innovation team. You have to have at least a little bit of a feeling that something can be done here. We can uncover something new here. We can introduce something exciting. Get everybody in a buzz and ready to go. Otherwise, you're going to have a really mediocre session, or you're going to end mediocre innovation sessions, especially for ideation, will definitely result in mediocre products and outcomes. So get everybody excited about possibility. Now we're going to talk about the innovation life cycle. Innovation boils down to 3 phases. Phase 1 is ideation or idea generation. Phase 2 is converting these ideas into products and services or possible products and services. And phase 3 is about spreading the word about these products and services, whether they're actual products and services or they are prototypes of them. Morten Hansen and Julian Birkinshaw explain this really well in their article, Harvard Business Review's The Innovation Value Chain. So there they talk about it as idea generation, conversion, and diffusion. Those are the 3 phases. Apparently, it's quite rare for organizations to be really good at 3 of these phases, all 3 at the same time. It doesn't happen very often. It's also tough to quantify or qualify good versus bad. Am I good at it? Am I bad at this phase? How do I even know? It can be quite subjective, and sometimes we don't know where to start in assessing our own abilities. Now, you may have your own ideas about what good looks like or what bad looks like, or how good you are in any of these phases or how bad you are in the phases. But if you don't, the article, The Innovation Value Chain, can help you out. So I'm going to leave a link in the description and, on the video for you. So let's look at this more closely and ask ourselves some questions as it relates to the first phase, generating ideas, as per the article. Here are the questions. Question 1, are we good at generating ideas within our own teams? Question 2, are we good at cross-functional idea generation? So generating ideas with other teams in the company. And question 3, are we good at gathering ideas from outside our company and even outside our industry? Once you've spent some time contemplating these answers, then you're ready for solutions. When it comes to idea generation, we want to get our foundations right, and we speak about this quite a lot on the channel. So the elements we want to get right: 1, people. We want to make sure we have a diverse group of people and that they feel included. Inclusion is really important here. They need to feel seen, heard, and respected by everybody in that team. The environment, now we're talking about psychological safety. It must be a safe space to share, to learn, to fail, to explore, and to collaborate without ego coming in and taking over. There must be trust in this environment. And now we have the process. The process needs to be structured and repeatable. So this is not like something you do once and then you forget about it. Every time you need to come up with ideas, you should be able to jump back into the process that you had done before and do it again. This way it sets in for your team and for your organization. They can draw on these skills quickly whenever they need to come up with ideas. It's a true capability of the people in your organization. So you might be asking now, okay, we're talking about idea generation here. I've asked myself these questions and I'm ready to go. How do I come up with ideas? How do I generate ideas? Now, I did a video on brainstorming like a pro. I'm gonna leave the link to that as well. So go check that out, where I go through the full process of how to brainstorm. So now, to bring it all back together, it feels like we have covered so much. In this video, we discussed the innovation value chain and the 3 phases within it: ideation, conversion, and diffusion. We went deeper into idea generation and talked about brainstorming. We also spoke about why creativity is important and why you need to focus on this as a capability in your organization. We explored 3 questions you can ask yourself to see if you're good or bad at generating ideas. And obviously, if you need more information, you can jump into the Innovation Value Chain article where you find more of what you need. Let me know if you enjoyed this video and if you want to see more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.